Waiter Tony brought over 2 bowls of noodles. The woman customer looked disgusted. She even told her son, if he didn't study hard, he'd end up like Tony. But at that moment, the news on TV announced that Tony had just become the top scorer in the National College Entrance Exam. The woman was stunned, but Tony didn't seem to care, because 2 top universities had already made him offers. One was MIT, the other was NYU. Without hesitation, Tony chose NYU. The MIT representative asked why. Tony calmly replied, he wanted to study to serve his country. As he held the acceptance letter, his eyes were filled with gratitude for his teacher. He couldn't wait to share the good news. But when he called, he was told the teacher was seriously ill and in the hospital. Tony rushed there immediately, only to learn from the teacher's daughter that he had ALS, an incurable disease. He might be bedridden for the rest of his life. Tony was devastated. Years ago, when he was homeless on the street, the teacher took him in, paid for his education, and raised him like his own son. Without him, Tony might have died of hunger. Now seeing his teacher like this, he made up his mind to give up college and work to pay for his treatment. But the teacher got furious and yelled at him. He didn't study for 10 years, just to give up at the most critical moment. If he didn't go to college, he should stop calling him teacher. In a burst of emotion, the teacher coughed up blood and collapsed on the bed. Tony tearfully said his family could only afford to send one person to school, and the teacher's daughter should go instead. But the girl gently refused and said she'd wait for him to return. Before leaving, Tony swore to himself he would succeed in life and repay the teacher for raising him. 6 years flew by. Tony disappeared without a trace. The teacher's condition worsened, but he never stopped thinking about him. What no one knew was that during those 6 years, Tony had developed a breakthrough treatment for ALS. The country awarded him $100 million. Now, the confidentiality period had ended. Tony was finally ready to return and repay his teacher. Meanwhile, the girl saw the news about the new ALS drug and was overjoyed until she heard the price, $200,000 per dose. All their savings had already gone toward treatments. In desperation, she remembered that today was a teacher appreciation banquet. Maybe she could borrow money from former students. So with a final glimmer of hope, she pushed the teacher toward the event. At the same time, Tony arrived back home, but missed them on the way out. He knocked on their door, but no one answered. A neighbor passing by told him they had gone to the banquet, so he rushed over. But at the banquet, the girl and teacher were met with contempt. Some even mocked them outright. The girl explained she just wanted to borrow money for medicine, but everyone claimed they had none. Just then, a waiter announced a $2 million meal had been served. The girl was furious and asked if they would rather waste money on food than save a life. They sneered and said the teacher was too harsh back then, and they all hated him. The girl argued he had done it for their own good, but no one listened. The rich kid even called security to kick them out. Just then, Tony arrived with a gift in hand. Seeing his teacher being humiliated, he burst into tears, but the girl slapped him and demanded to know why he had disappeared for so many years and why he let the teacher's condition worsen. The crowd began whispering, saying Tony must have failed in life. The female teacher stepped in and said, everyone here today was someone important. Tony didn't belong. Tony laughed coldly